Hi everyone. I hope you can hear me clearly. And it's been a while since I did a spontaneous reading like this. I felt very called, more like, an urge from spirit itself to be like, hey, you need to talk about this. Go to the collective and talk about it. Forgive me for the background noise. It's just a lot of cars and stuff, bikes just honking about. Um, So, what I interestingly wanted to speak about was the kind of patterns I was kind of seeing in the real videos I've been doing lately, and it's been coming up a lot. And I wanted to talk about, each of those patterns that were coming up, because I I know spirituality is important. I mean, my whole handle is Priestess of Balance, so I take spirituality very important for me. It's very important for me, but I also take psychology, modern applied psychology, also equally important. So there's a balance between the two. And I think that's what bridging the both of them makes sense when it comes to the kind of readings that I do. I'm pretty sure there are other tarot readers who also do the same here on the vast universe of YouTube. So if you felt called to see this reading, uh, let's just dive into it. So one of the first things I was picking up from the collective, especially in this month, is yeah, a lot of you are doing a lot. There's a lot of energy, a lot of opportunity, a lot of burnout as well coming up because you have a multitude of things that you want to do simultaneously at the same time, and you feel like you don't have enough hands or you don't have enough legs, or there's not enough of you as a person enough to handle all those things. You just wish you had a clone, basically. So it's a very fiery peak month. And then we have Jupiter as well, the planet, the in Vedic astrology, they call it the guru. So, it talks about blessings that you get from your ancestors, blessings you get from your previous life masters, teachers, etc., something like that. And when you have Jupiter kind of exalted in this month in its respective nakshatras, I will make about a video about what Vedic astrology is so that you know what I'm babbling about. It's more easier to understand. So I'll just leave that aside for now. So let's see. The first thing that I was picking up was, oh my days. Okay, three. We have three of swords right out. All right. I won't take the rest of these cards. I'm just gonna leave it out. Leave it out here. Okay. So let's see. Oh my days. Okay, we have 10 of swords. Yeah, see, it's a lot of mental energy. It's a lot of mental cycles, a lot of mental blockages kind of breaking out this month. So we have the Six of Pentacles, that it came in reverse. So the first thing I'm picking up is that, someone or any of whoever is watching this, you've been the parentification, you wanted to do something for yourself. You wanted to, experience childhood a bit normally compared to others, and you wanted to do things, you wanted to experience things, you wanted to live life like how other kids did. And I know, uh, I know the feeling. Unfortunately, you had to grow up and, you had to take responsibilities. You had to do things a lot more than an average child had to do. And sometimes you're the peacemaker in between all of that. You are someone who has to take care of all of those things. Otherwise, the house will just break. It's not only that you took that burden on yourself, but the adults around you at the time made you into a parent as well, which was not your fault. I won't say it's their fault as well because they were immature, emotionally immature adults as well. So that's a very good book out there that speaks about, a child growing up with emotionally immature adults. And there's something called being an externalizer and being an internalizer. So I feel whoever's seeing this reading, you're an internalizer. You've internalized a lot of emotions. You had to grow up really quick. Your relationships that you've had growing up as an adult has not been easy because at one side of you, you want to be held, seen, spoken to openly, and not coddled in any way, just respect, for the journey that you've been in, but also the kind of partners, boyfriends and girlfriends that you might attract are emotionally matured, they don't know how to act. And then you're the parent again, and that feels like a familiar relationship because it feels familiar because that's what you grew up in. And currently, some of you are going through that angst. I'm sorry for you. However, the burdening of all of that, it has to come to an end at some point. You can't keep doing that to yourself because when do you get a chance to be a parent for yourself? When do you get a chance to love yourself? When do you get a chance to see yourself and say, hey, we've been through a lot. I think the world can take care of itself, we've done enough really. So when do you get a chance to say that? So spirit, we have the wheel of um, fortune over here. Sorry about the buzzing noise. So with the wheel of fortune over here, it says, yeah, things things have to change now. This mental aptitude of being a parent, that has to be, it can't be broken, it has to be mended. You have to mend yourself on there. I got these other really cool oracle decks. It's called This Might Help by Isabella Rotman. I mean, I think I just showed you the Ouroboros, and the whole design is just really cool. Really, really awesome decks over here. I'm not promoting her stuff in any way. I'm just appreciating the artwork for how it is, and it's very different. It's just very different creativity altogether. So I'm gonna draw those cards out as well. Um, then we have the Page of Cups over here. So Spirit has aligned so beautifully in this reading that you need to go on the mend about this parentification. You can't be a parent to anyone anymore. You need to parent yourself. So that comes with also what I was talking about, being the internalizer. If you're an externalizer, you would have externalized anger, frustration, excitement, making impulsive decisions in so many ways that would have costed you a lot as an adult. If you're an internalizer, if being pushed to the threshold of being a parent would have made you to kind of take impulsive decisions that you were not aware about, and you didn't know why you did that in the first place, you'd be scratching your head after that incident is over, like, why did I react like that? Like, why did I make a decision like that out of all the person over here in the room? I'm supposed to be the most matured one. No, because your inner child did not have a chance to be a child. So this parentification is something that's healing for the collective, whoever is, yeah, whoever is kind of in tune with this reading. So this card means, yeah, you really need to stop blaming yourself. And the healing process of parentification in itself is letting go of self-blame, is letting go of the narratives that the adults around you built around you when you were a child. I'm saying this in very simple terms. I know how much of hard work it is. You have the strength to do it. That's why you've been led to this energy in the first place. Okay? You can do it. And the third thing is start parenting yourself. How would you love yourself? How would you take care of yourself? If you did a mistake, how would you talk to yourself positively, not harshly, not critically in any way? How would you do that? So I think that's very important for you to kind of look into and start seeing the whole process of that healing. Everybody's healing journey is very unique. It's extremely unique. It's not the same, I would say. It's not. So let's see what that comes about. Yeah. So we have the scales over here. So this also reminds me of this the justice card. Yeah, reminds me of the justice card. I believe it is. So the scales, You need to prioritize yourself now more than ever. And prioritizing yourself will actually bring bigger blessings in your life because you become your authentic self. I mean, look, listen to that horn blaring in the background. It's literally like an alarm telling you you need to take care of yourself, prioritize yourself first. You come first because what's coming for you is bigger. It's bigger blessings on the way. And you'd be surprised how many different kind of doors open when you become authentic. Yeah, restraints, a reminder, don't be the parent, just be yourself. Just be yourself. That's all that matters. Yeah, brilliant. And then we're gonna look at the other pattern that is coming up in the the mini readings and the reels a lot. So let's see. I need to shuffle the cards, so bear with me. While I'm on that, I feel the whole collective is kind of healing from all of this because mental health awareness is something that's becoming very big in this modern day and age, and that's actually brilliant. So you hear the beep, so that's very true. um, Confirmation again. Thank you, Spirit. So we also see a lot of people being educated about it, being aware about it, coming about speaking their own experience. Like you can write down here in the comment below, like what was your healing journey like? Yeah. The thing is, I find some YouTube videos and some readings where people, when they share their own experiences of the healing journey, it's not only validating for themselves, but it actually helps the others, in the public space to kind of also learn from that and be like, I didn't know. That's a different perspective and different take on it. Maybe I should look at life that way. Probably might help. Okay, so the second pattern, what I was picking up was about the guilt of being a cycle breaker. Okay, so when you have, thank you, Spirit. Oh, yeah, thank you very much. Six of Pentacles again. Um, when you've been, I'm not kidding, Spirit is on a roll today. Um, when you notice something really weird, or there's something very toxic in your family ancestry line, right? And uh, that is just is not healthy compared to other healthy dynamics or other healthy family dynamics out there. And you thought that you want to break that cycle. Let's say you've broken that cycle. That breaking that cycle would be sometimes being in no contact with those toxic adults that you grew up with, being in no contact with the relatives who were toxic with you, being no contact with the siblings who were around you. It's a very difficult road. It's a lonesome road. Not everybody's gonna understand it. But some of you feel the guilt, like the guilt of like, oh man, I left everybody alone. I'm not that in that toxic cycle anymore. It's leaving, it's leaving the community behind. And it could be painful sometimes because not only are you lonely, people judge you for it. Sometimes they even project Knight of Swords. It's a mental energy. So sometimes they even project that on you. Sometimes they even think that, oh, like how it's easy for you to just step out of something so toxic. You just left your family behind. How can you abandon them? And that's not right in a way, because nobody can actually step into your shoes and then live a couple of minutes of that. It takes a toll. It definitely takes a toll. So the guilt you feel by breaking that toxicity and living a very different life, yeah, being restless, this Four of Swords and is in reverse. So being restless about it and then overthinking about it, losing sleep about it, years and years of anguish is something that I've experienced with clients who came to me about this very issue actually. So I don't know if you experience the same. Sometimes the somatic symptoms in the body, it could be that chronic backache you get, shoulder pain, and sometimes especially the left side of your body, that something is not right. You feel more tired, you feel um your left eye just becoming blurry or getting a left migraine. So some symptoms regarding to that, if you relate to it, comment down below. But the Ace of Swords, yeah, you just feel Ace of Swords in reverse, particularly. You just feel like, oh no, like, why did I leave them behind? What, how can I reprimand this? Should I go back? Should I not go back? The only way is to actually go forward because you made the decision against your mind and heart. Your body decided it needs to leave because it couldn't take it anymore further. Like it was too much for it and it can't bear it anymore. So you left. Yeah, the sharpened spear, you left. Thank you, Spirit. So the moment you left, it's like, no, you can't take that anymore. The sharpened spear, see, it's like the toxicity almost coming to break you in the back. Just in that edge before it happened, you left. You left. So how did you feel leaving that? You get a different support system. Sometimes friends become family, a lot more better than family, actually. And you never know. Confirmation from spirit again. Thank you. And the outside. Sometimes you're surprised to see how healthy those relationships can be a lot more than with your own blood. It's unfortunate, but they are put in your they are put into your life, or more like you are born into that life particularly to break away and to realign and cleanse the bloodline for the better. The salamander, very fiery, wandy energy. So if it's in reverse, now you're like, okay, I can't be impulsive and toxic like that. How the adults around me were. I need to see the better things in life. I need to see the beauty of life, be patient, find my own wisdom, turn, convert the poison I have into medicine so that it's not only for me, but I can also help others if you feel called to, or just cherish the medicine you have and take it all in for yourself and just live with gratitude and happiness at the same time. Well, I mean, look at that. We have the Hoppa here. So, four of wands. So many other beautiful things start coming out when you actually break that cycle, and you know you don't feel guilty for it anymore because you know you did the right thing. You know you did the right thing. The world will see contrary to it because they don't understand this dynamics. It's very complicated. But what you did, stepping away from that cycle, that was, I mean, this is such a big sign. I don't know what to say. Stepping away from that cycle made you to see the bigger picture of your life, actually. What more is there? What more you could do for yourself? What more you can do to feel more fulfilled? Maybe even becoming something different, becoming adventurous with life and paying it forward in a way, you know. I feel many of you who see this, and if you have subscribed to the channel, I'm very grateful. Thank you. You have experienced something like this. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please press the subscription button. It is free. It doesn't cost you anything, and you get to be in tune with this frequency and also get to have a lot more content about practical spirituality in many ways. Oh my god, today everybody's about songs. I think spirit is so loud about this. Okay, in the last pattern, I've been picking up. There's more coming, but I just don't want to bore all of you with a very long video. Instead, so I'm trying to make this as short as possible. Um, and also I'm a moon, and my moon is in Virgo, so I'm an introvert with a Libra stellium. So talking is not my strong suit, but I've trained myself to talk. But this is all spirit channeling through. So thank you, spirit, again. So the third pattern, I'll come to it. The most of you, the highest number of you that actually correlated with it so much was hyper independence. Like, talk about that. Hyper independence, I've been there, you know? I've personally been there. And I know what it is to be like, to be parentified as well. So hyper independence, to be the one who takes care of everything, to be the one who shoulders on everything, doesn't need anybody's help, asking for help, is that kind of a vulnerability that is so, so, so scary. Okay. That, no, like, things have to be under your reign and your control at all times. As and especially if you had like a father figure or someone of a very strong masculine character in your life, you can prove it to them, especially proving it to them like, hey, I can handle my own shit a lot better. Thank you very much. I don't need anybody's help. That sometimes things, when they go wrong because you're so independent, and that hyper independence comes and kicks in, especially when you're entering into new relationships, you're like, uh, I could have just asked them to step in. Like, no, I pushed them away, blaming yourself for it. Yeah. Now I push them away. I have this card, King of Cups, as neutral. So if it falls like this, I always take that as a neutral sign. So whoever this masculine energy was, or another thing I have to say is, when you're hyper independent, you are on a high masculine drive yourself. So now you're really trying to balance between your masculine side and your feminine side. So I'm not surprised this King of Cups card came out neutral, because neutrality is kind of like a balance in itself. You are starting to lean into the side of your emotions without leaning too much on the side where you keep running and doing. That's more like the wands energy, the fiery energy. Then we have the Nine of Wands in reverse. So being vulnerable, not being defensive, and keeping your guard up, actually asking for help, is something significantly you are learning to put yourself into. You're learning to listen to it, listen to that voice, like, hey, I can actually trust this person, I can actually talk to them, I can actually get some help. I'm not going to be hurt. This is a very different time of my life. The Temperance card also says that you're relaxing into it, you're nurturing yourself into it, and your body has been a big, big sign screaming, no. I have the Tower card here. Guys, this cannot be made up, right? Like, no. The Tower card, whoever's watching this, bless you, because your body literally gave you like a pause sign, like, excuse me, pause. I can't do this anymore. No, 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 no. I need complete rest. Some of you had a humbling experience with your body that's made you to kind of rethink about, do I have to be so, so independent all the time? What's interesting with the ethereal vision tarot deck, right, is this card, the artist. Now you're starting to see things in a different light. Now you're starting to see things with a different aspect. The wing in the leg always reminds me of taking a different path, taking a different direction, different perception. So, hyper independence or no, you're not going into that pathway anymore. It's more like a spiritual awakening what you had with your experience with your body. Some of you may relate, some of you may not relate. So, Ten of Wands, you're not in reverse, you're not burdening yourself with it, you're not burning yourself with that kind of a pressure, and with that kind of mountain of tasks that you take on for yourself. The relationships that you'll get into from now on is so, so much more healthier, because people would love you, cherish you, they'd want to take care of you, you know, because you're a treasure for them. As cringe as it sounds, you're very, very important for them. Look at this, the High Priestess. Oh, bless you, High Priestess. Your discernment is increased. It has increased because you know who to trust, you know who to let in. You can feel how vulnerability has started healing you. It's literally opened the door of a higher healing that you not imagined. It's beautiful. I'm just going to take the oracle cards as well just to confirm this. Yeah, right. So these patterns, I don't know why they came up. I can definitely tell it came up for this particular spontaneous reading out of all days that I did not expect. And actually, talking to you guys, the water lilies. I always take lilies or anything like this of sort as like a very ascended kind of a sign. So you're ascending higher. This is also uh, the cups, like a three of cups kind of a energy as well. So you're ascending higher. You're going to another place of healing. And that is also bringing you emotional connections that are so, so, so refreshing. You didn't think it would happen. You were praying for it, imagining about it for a very long time. And now you can finally kind of, put your literally your bow and arrow down. I was going to say it. Literally put your bow and arrow down and actually rest and just recuperate in this. So if you found this, I just want to look at what the water lilies mean for you, but meanwhile I'm just going to say this. um if you found this reading insightful, helpful, anyway, that's actually calling you to dig in a little bit deeper, I would humbly ask you to check my website. You can look at the services that I have, a mini card reading or clarity reading or a deep dive kind of reading. And this is usually how my reading is, but I go a lot more in depth because I am tapping into your energy, into your specific question, into your specific energy to deep dive into it, right? So if you feel called and if you feel like you need some more answers, I'll be very honored and happy to read for you. My slots are limited each month since I'm getting busy doing the meditation videos and other projects that I have in hand. I don't have much time as I did before. So I have like a minimum 10 slots or less open. If you want to go there and have a look, just to book any kind of a reading that you feel called to, I'll be most grateful and most honored to read for you. So the water lilies, okay, here it is. Rising above, self actualization, spiritual enlightenment. There we are. And then we have the bow of arrows, which should be, that's interesting. Bow of arrows. It's a major arcana, and I can't find it here. Here it is. Changed feelings, falling in or out of love. So bow of arrows. Arrows is love in Latin. So if it's in reverse, some of you are in the thick of it. You are starting to understand why vulnerability is sacred, why vulnerability is healing you, and why certain people are helping you without any kind of ill will intention. And it's quite a journey ahead. So, again, thank you so much for sticking around and for watching my readings. Whenever I feel the urge for this kind of spontaneous downloads, I will upload these readings. I would definitely appreciate your feedback if you have any about how do you like the reading, or the format, the sound quality, anything. It helps me out a lot. And also another, I'll just make an announcement now before you kind of log out. Or you scroll, sorry, scroll, you scroll to the next YouTube video. I'm building a virtual um, reading platform in my website because I not only want to give insights for this building, for this new budding community, I also want to help you guys to kind of improve and develop your own discernment so that it becomes the biggest arsenal and the biggest tool that you have, in the row of toolkits that you'll have. And this is very helpful and very handy in life, especially during crisis, and very difficult when you're trying to make very difficult emotional decisions. It grounds you, centers you, and you feel more connected to your higher self than ever. I can't emphasize it. Each journey for their own. So I'm building that, and I hope you like it. I hope you can support, share, like, and subscribe to it. It's an online virtual platform, so obviously I'm going to keep it free for as long as I can, and I'll let you know the launch of it. So thank you so much for sticking around. And again, if you felt called to go deeper into any of these patterns, feel free to look at my services, to book a reading with me if you feel called to it. Thank you so much and stay blessed.